Look beyond the surface. Trust what lies beneath. If I asked you to name the single coldest moment in the history of animation, I am not talking about a monster eating a civilian. I am not even talking about the end of the world. No. I am talking about the moment you are forced to stare at your own corpse, a face identical to yours, lying bloody in the grass. And then you pick up a shovel, 1 scoop, 2 scoops. Now, most people think this episode is just shock value. You know, mutants, gross, slime, the usual stuff. But to be honest, if that is all you saw, you missed the real horror. You missed the ritual. This episode is the moment Morty kills the innocent version of himself. It is a brutal metaphor for the necessity of growing up. Welcome to the archives, accomplices. I'm Detective H. This is my partner River. Today, we open the file on Season 1, Episode 6. On the surface, this is a biological crisis caused by a failed romance, but underneath, this is a horror story about replacement. In this universe, is it possible that you are not actually special? If there was another you, living a better life, or dying a worse death, what would you do? Let's crack the file. Focus your attention on this tiny screwdriver. If you look closely, you realize the entire catastrophe starts right here. Rick is working in the garage. He needs this screwdriver to fix his ion defragmentizer. Remember that machine, trust me. It is 1,000 times more important than you think. But Morty? He could not care less about science. He is consumed by one thing, Jessica. The flu season dance is coming up. Morty wants to ask her out, but he is paralyzed by fear. Even worse, Jessica's boyfriend Brad, a classic archetype of the school bully, has just humiliated Morty in the hallway. So, Morty is in a state of desperate craving. He is in full simp mode. He storms into the garage. He refuses to hand Rick the screwdriver. Instead, he blackmails him. He says, "Rick, if you do not help me with Jessica, I am done with the adventures. No more human shield." Listen, this is weird. Usually, Morty is dragged along, but here, desire has taught him how to negotiate. Rick is a nihilist. To him, love is a joke. He delivers that famous line, "Listen, Morty, what people call love is just a chemical reaction that compels animals to breed." It hits hard, then it slowly fades, leaving you stranded in a failing marriage. Wow, I mean, that is harsh, but kinda true. Rick wants to save time, so he mixes a potion using the DNA of a vole. Voles are monogamous. You apply it to Jessica, and she locks onto Morty forever. Rick gives one warning. Do not use this during flu season. This is classic Rick. His arrogance blinds him to the low-level risks. And Morty? He grabs the vial and runs. He is already fantasizing about the wedding. He never heard the warning. In that moment, Morty thinks he is holding the key to happiness. He does not realize he has just pressed the launch button for nuclear winter. Shift your gaze to the sneeze. You can view this as a live demonstration of the butterfly effect. Morty finds Jessica at the dance. He slips the potion onto her arm. The effect is instant. Her pupils dilate. She looks at Morty like he is the only object in the universe. Is Morty happy? Oh, absolutely. He has waited his whole life for this look. But then, Jessica coughs. The virus is airborne. This isn't just the flu anymore. It is a super virus carrying a biological command. Fall in love with Morty. It drifts through the air, into the nose of a bystander, into the ventilation shafts, into the lungs of the entire city. The next few minutes are a textbook disaster film. The students, the bully, the principal, even the mailman, their eyes change. They are no longer human. They are a horde of zombies in heat, and they have one target, Morty. Imagine the scene. Hundreds of people chasing you, desperate to kiss you. Popularity instantly mutates into horror. I was like, what? This is not a dream come true. This is the ultimate nightmare for an introvert. Rick arrives in his ship. He knows he messed up, but he does not panic. He is the smartest man in the universe, right? He creates an antidote. Attempt number 1. The logic is simple. The virus is based on vole DNA. So, he uses the DNA of a praying mantis, the vole's natural predator. Because the mantis eats its partner after mating. Sounds scientific? No joke. This logic is barely half-baked. Rick drops the mantis serum on the city. The result? The virus mutates. The people do not go back to normal. They transform into mantis people. Now, they still love Morty. But the definition of love has shifted from, I want to hold you to, I want to breed with you and consume your head. The city burns. Civilization collapses in minutes. All because a 14-year-old boy wanted to dance with a girl. It is absurd, right? But life is often like this. The lie you tell to cover up a small mistake often becomes the disaster that destroys everything. I need to pause the main timeline here. We have to talk about Jerry. Look at this crowbar. For most of the show, Jerry is the punchline. He is cowardly, incompetent, unemployed, humiliated by Rick, resented by Beth. At the start of this episode, he is drowning in insecurity. He thinks Beth is cheating on him with a co-worker named Davin. Jerry rushes to the horse hospital with a gun. He wants to defend his marriage. But when he arrives, Davin has already become a mantis monster. He is about to attack Beth. This should be the moment Jerry wets his pants. But strangely, when the social order collapses, when you do not need an IQ or a job title or status, when you only need survival instinct, Jerry wakes up, he takes that crowbar and smashes the monster's skull. Clean, brutal, efficient. He saves Beth. He modifies their car into a Mad Max war machine. He carves a bloody path through the horde. In this moment, Jerry stops being the pathetic husband. He becomes the action hero. And Beth? Look at her eyes. She falls in love with him all over again. This is a brilliant sociological observation. Think about it. In Rick's world of high science, Jerry is useless. But in the primitive, violent laws of the jungle, Jerry's simple, direct desire to protect becomes the most valuable currency. This explains why Beth can never leave him. Deep down, she craves this primal safety. Jerry fills a void. He represents the protector, a role her genius father, Rick, never bothered to fill. Back to the main thread. The streets are crawling with mantis monsters. Rick decides on a second fix. This time, he stops playing small. He mixes the DNA of a koala, a rattlesnake, a chimpanzee, a cactus, a shark, even a dinosaur. He tries to create a broad-spectrum neutralizer. It is like your computer freezing, and you decide to smash every key on the keyboard at once to reboot it. The result is inevitable. The mantis people mutate again. They become formless masses of flesh. We call them Cronenbergs, a tribute to the master of body horror, David Cronenberg. Humanity is gone. The world is a purgatory of meat, slime, and tentacles. Morty breaks down. He screams at Rick, "Look at what you did." And Rick, he just sits there. He says, deeply unbothered, "You cannot put this all on me. You are the one who drugged Jessica." At this point, Earth is lost. Even Rick cannot turn a pile of rotting meat back into a human being. Now, in a Hollywood movie, the hero would sacrifice himself or find a time machine to reverse the damage, right? But this is Rick and Morty. The first time I saw this, I was shaken. I realized this show was playing a different game. Rick pulls out his portal gun, but he does not fight. He scans his goggles. What is he looking for? He is looking for another universe. In the theory of infinite timelines, there is a specific universe that meets three conditions. 1. History is identical to this one. 2. The Rick of that universe successfully cured the virus. The world is normal. And 3. The most crucial point. Just moments ago, the Rick and Morty of that universe, after fixing everything, were killed by an explosion from that iron defragmentizer in the garage. Rick's plan is simple. We abandon this ruined world. We go to that world. We step into the shoes of the dead versions of ourselves. Wait, let that sink in. This is not saving the world. This is just switching servers and starting a new account. This brings us to the shovel, the most devastating ending in the series. Rick and Morty jump to the peaceful universe. They walk into the garage, and what do they see? Their own bodies, destroyed, guts on the floor. Rick does not care. He drags the corpses to the backyard like trash. But Morty is just a kid. He looks at himself, that face, that hand, the sickening smell of death. Then, Rick hands him a shovel. Don't think about it, Morty. Just dig. The music starts, Mazzy Star. Look on down from the bridge. It is a haunting, heavy track. Morty digs mechanically. He drags his own body into the hole. He covers it with dirt. The rain might be falling, or maybe it isn't. But, in the viewer's mind, it is a storm. After the burial, Morty walks into the house. In the living room, the Beth, Jerry, and Summer of this world are watching TV. They do not know they just lost their real family. They do not know this. Morty is an imposter. Morty sits on the couch. His eyes are empty. The light is gone. He looks at this family, so familiar, yet so alien, and he realizes something terrifying. Nothing matters. If you can be replaced at any moment, if destroying a world just means moving to the next one, then what is the point? Your struggle, your pain, your love. In the face of infinity, it is less than dust. In that moment, the Morty who worried about a dance is dead. Buried in the backyard is not just a body, it is his innocence. This episode is legendary because it rips the mask off the superhero genre. We are used to heroes who fix mistakes, but in Rick and Morty, some mistakes cannot be fixed. You can only run. Rick teaches Morty a lesson called nihilism. Since the universe is infinite, you are not unique. And if you are not unique, nothing is sacred. Not life, not love. Sounds hopeless, right? But let's shift the perspective. Back in the abandoned Cronenberg universe, what happened? We see the wasteland. Jerry, Beth, and Summer are the only humans left. And in this hellscape, they are actually happy. Without Rick's insults, without Morty's baggage, Jerry becomes a hero. Beth becomes a loving wife. She even says, "I am finally happy." Look at the irony. Rick and Morty escape to a perfect world, but they live a lie, carrying the trauma of their own graves, while the abandoned family, surrounded by monsters, finds their true selves. So, here is the question this episode is asking you. Would you rather live in a perfect, fake, replaceable, normal life, or would you rather struggle in a broken, dangerous world where you are real and irreplaceable? Morty could not answer that question yet. He was still in shock. But for you watching this, the next time you mess up at work, the next time you ruin a relationship and wish you could find a hole to hide in, or wish for a restart button, think about those two graves in Morty's backyard. Running away works. It feels comfortable, but remember, every time you choose to run, you bury a part of yourself. And if you run far enough, you might look in the mirror and realize the person staring back is no longer you. Tell me in the comments, would you take the crowbar and fight the monsters, or would you switch dimensions and dig the hole? The truth is out. Good work, accomplice. Leave a like as my commission, and subscribe so we can crack the next case together. Remember, look beyond the surface. Case closed.
Did you get any of that?
It's a good show.